So episode 4 of extending the vegetable garden into the pond. But as you can see, since the last episode there's been quite a bit more rain, and the water is now not only lapping at the path but lapping at the base of the new bank as well. And when the pond is full currently, it gets to about kind of this sort of height, so I'm sort of quite anxious to get this up above water level before the water gets here. And here where I'm cutting these pond turfs has quite I don't know, about 6 inches of water in between the ground and the turfs. I've got to feel where the turfs have got to. I've got one there. So these are things like twice as difficult when it's underwater. Can't really see how big the turfs are or anything, so it's kind of a bit of a guesswork. Cut that one down like that, and hopefully that will come up now. Sometimes we're going to move them around a bit. Yeah, that's not a very big one, but at least it's something. And then I'm going to chuck this one behind here to make a nice foundation, so I can put some slop here and another row of turfs to raise it above the water level as quickly as possible. This bit here is the only bit that's on level 3 at the moment. All this is on level 2, and yeah, when it's full it's about here, but eventually I want this pond to be a bit higher, but for the moment I don't have to worry if it's higher than that, but I really want to get it sort of done before it feels like it would be very difficult if this pond is low. But where it's coming over the base of this path, I want to mark that path so I don't sort of walk on it. Get a bamboo cane or two here and just mark the edge of this path here. I'll go like about 8 inches away from it, and then it's just showing it's there, so as I'm walking through here I don't then step on this path, which isn't totally fully set yet. I was hoping it would fully set before it got submerged, but here we go. So there's just like a nice little marker saying don't walk that side of the bamboo sticks. One more of these. Ooh, let's drain that water off, and that's like got this back support all the way along here. So now I'll just tread this down to get rid of all the air pockets in here, and then I can get some of these buckets of topsoil slop. Carry these two over. Ooh. Just put these down. I'll just make a nice kind of thin layer of this topsoil slop here all the way along. So it's just goes on top of all this nice level surface that the turfs can squish down into. So there's no all these minimal air pockets. And that one just tip there. Oops. Nice big stocky bit there. Right. Smooth that all the way along, like so. Now I need to cut some turfs, maybe 4 or 5 I think. And of course so many turfs will break this dam, and I really want to do that today, because probably even in a few hours time, if we have some more rain, this might all be the same level and then there'd be no kind of dramatic dam break. So see how far this one goes. There's the first one, prise it out of there. Probably another row back ought to do for that bit there. It's 1.5 that way, and then yeah, back this way, because this little bit's underwater when the pond's full, so I might as well break the dam today, because this is all going to be a pond inlet coming up here anyway, separating the arboretum from the vegetable garden. That's another one there. Just prise it out like that, and then you come along with this one here. I'm going to cut it that way. 3, all quite big wide ones. Is that going to release any water, I wonder? I don't know. Don't think so. And then 4. just about balance on there. 1, 2 that way, and 1 that way. Right, prize that one out, and then see if these ones will do this bit. This first one will go here, like that, and then just break off the back bits, mix them with the slop, and bash them up behind like that, and the same there, and bash it into place. Some of this slop in between here, like that. So there's no little air pockets, there's a nice little slope. And then some of this stuff here. Just break up the lumps a bit, and then that could go in there, and in there, and just maybe a few drier bits like that. Just give it a bit more support. That bit there, it's good. Right, that gets it up to that height, but it needs to set a little bit before I can add any more there, because otherwise it would just collapse. So we'll leave it at that height and go back and get the next turf. And next this big one here, and then this one we go there. There's quite a lot underneath it, so just squish it up like that, break off the back bits, mix them together and squish them up like that. Right, and then here, some of this slop. It's a narrower gap there, so it will, the narrower they are, the more up you can, the higher you can go with them. So that one can go, maybe not quite the way to the top. If I put it up higher, it sort of collapses. So I've got to let that set for a bit. That's good. And that's nearly to the end of that bit. Just give it a bit of a smooth. Hopefully it will set before it becomes submerged. Whoa. And then the next one, just roll it over. Oh, that one's not a brilliant one. I think I might put that in sideways. So it's a nice sort of 45-degree slope that side. So plonk it in there, break all that down, bash it in to give it support. A bit more there. And then this runny stuff in between there, squishing it all into all the air pockets, like so. I don't want that, whatever that is. Alright, runny stuff at the back, all solid stuff at the front, and there we go. That one nicely filled up to there. Just maybe a little bit further back with both of those two. Hopefully that will hold. And you should have room for just one more there. If I get this one. Yeah, which is a kind of smaller one. Maybe that could go, that could go either way around. I think it could go this way around, like that. A bit more of that underneath it there, and there. That's nice. And then break off those back bits, bash them into place, and move that back a little bit. And then this runny stuff here could go into there like that, and all that smoothed up there. That's very runny, that is. So that's good. So that takes all this little bit up just that little bit higher from the rising water. Might as well break this down, I guess. It's all of 2 inches difference in height. So cut that one off first of all. Make a nice little turf out of that one. And what if any water's going to escape from that one? Almost, not oh, kind of. I'll just pick that one up there, and then just get this chunk out here. That's good, like that. and lob that over, loosen it off the spade, and lob it over. There, it's kind of stuck. So that's going to go over there. Yeah, it is. There it goes. So now, this is like officially now part of the pond. All of this. It's a few inches lower, even if only for a short while. Will make it a lot easier to extract slop from this slop quarry here. Quite a lot of bits here. Let's cut this other one off here. Look at some nice turf here, and actually let loads of more water out. And there we go. Nice big bit there. Right. And I could go there, and there's just tons of water all pouring out there, and that should reduce the height of all this for a bit. There's tons of water pouring out there, and this goes back all the way over to here. It's been gradually growing for the last few years, and it's a really good place to mix up topsoil and make topsoil slop. I haven't got turfs from, but now it's officially part of the pond. This last bit of the bank here, marked by these bamboos, is kind of got water in it, and so I can't use slop to stick turfs together there. So I'm going to have to just use these saturated turfs and kind of bash them together a bit. So nice. That's a horrible one. That could go in the back. And those bits as well. That will fall into pieces. Like this one, that could go kind of there. Just squash it in a bit. Bash it that side. This is very pliable when it's saturated. But there's no way I can squish turfs between them because it would collapse in the water. So that's also making it a little more of a slope and not so steep, so it can withstand more. Right, so that one, and then cut another one. This one off here, I think. Next, right, whoa, and another one there. Loosen that one off, and that one. Go here, like that, and then bash that into place, like so, and that's a little bit squashed into there. That's good. Now we're above water level again there, so that's good. And then with this little bit of topsoil slip here, just can use that to just give it a little bit of height. We are due some more rain, so that just goes there, and that just gives it a little bit of extra height to compensate for the rising pond. This little piece can just go there, close to the end there. Just break that down a little bit, and that's good. That's another bit up to this row here. That's should be above water level just about. And a bit more of this topsoil slop here. So, put that over there. Mix it in with a bit of dry stuff here, and that can just go up to there, creating this big higher bit there, like that. Bit of support back there. That's good. That is. This end here is not quite as submerged, but I think next I want to concentrate on bringing some more soil off the vegetable garden to fill in this bit here. Because the story here is that the nice soil is basically underneath. So when people dug the ponds, they scraped all the weeds and stuff, all the very, very topsoil off into like a heap. And they didn't want to put it on top of what I wanted with a vegetable garden because they said that wouldn't look good for them, you know, just chucking a load of stinging nettles and stuff on the top. But I managed to convince them to put it underneath, and then they put this like underlying topsoil, which isn't as nice, on the top. So if I remove those layers and I uncover the nice soil that was the topsoil, so this stuff here is just horrible. Cultivated down so far with it, but this is just unpleasant. It's really difficult to build with and use as turf as well. So just get this, yazzy, and then a little bit into there like that, and it's going along in rows, about two rows deep. I should hit the nice soil then. Cut that one to there, and that, and then dig it out here, and this soil is just horrible to work with. It's like really clay and unpleasant. At some point, going back this way, I get to the area where we've actually cultivated this soil and dug sand and organic material in, so the bit where we've had ready vegetables in is kind of nice, and I don't want to chuck that soil down there, so I've got to like be quite careful of how far back I go. In fact, some of these turfs now are looking much nicer and almost like something I could perhaps build with here. So I'm going to use this one to build up the bank a bit. Trouble is, there's just been a load more heavy rain, and the pond has risen significantly, which makes it all a little bit different. So this little bit here is really just on the verge of being underwater. Oh, and my bit's stuck. So I guess I'm going to have to start this end. Be careful not to step on this because this will just squish. Oh no. Right, over there. And just turn this around like that. And because it's saturated, I'm going to make it not as steep, just to sort of reduce the risk of it collapsing. Break this stuff down here, and I just bash that into place. But I have trouble getting slop to set here. Just bash that down. It's quite wet, so I can bash it down there. I don't mind about those dot roots there, they're okay there. Because when the pond's full, it's going to be even higher than this. So I wonder if there's any slop around here. So everything's saturated now. No, I'm going to have to go to the slop quarry and get some slop. But of course, that's just an inlet now. It's completely underwater. As long as I can keep it above water level, I should be okay. Let's get this one out. See if this is going to be one that pulls together or one that falls apart. Just carefully prise it out here. Right. Let's see what this one's like. Oh no, that's no good. So I'll just lob this one down here. This one could just go in here. Let's see what this one's like, if it's any better. Let's try to get a nice kind of rectangular shape and gently prise it out. Oh, that looks promising. Right, goes out here. Yeah, that's much better. This one could be used for building material. Just take it down here, and I just put it somewhere around here. So, right, side nearest me is the side I want facing out. Oh, all this mud, I'm just sinking in this mud. Whoa, now my foot's stuck again. Right, over there, and right there, that. And that can sort of neatly go there. And then just break off the back bits again and bash them in there like that. It's going to be a bit challenging putting slop between these bits, but I'll have to cope. And this is go a lot deeper. Ooh. just about manage. I've got to put those bamboo canes there to mark the pot. Hey Darius. Right, so bring them over here. And then doing these little bits here. Don't think you like mud, Darius. I'm going to take it over here and just bash it as best I can. Some of these drier lumps would be good because they hold together better. And squish all that there. I just hope this all holds together. I've made it to less of a deep bit here. Just build that up to there. That's completely wet and saturated. Now, balance here somehow, and then get a load in here. Nice, really. Right, and then that bit could go there and there. I think that's about as high as it can go without collapsing. A little bit more support behind, and then nice, really. Right, and then some at the front here. So I've cut the corner off a bit here, so it's I can make more of a gentle slope at the corner, give it a bit more space for marginal plants. So here's the actual edge of the thing here. Move them all further forward. Rebalance, and then yes, I know you're there, Darius. Yeah, your help is vital to the work here. Yes. Alright, that can go over there. Right. This one, drag it forward, and that can go to there to make a nice slope on the corner there. Now we've got this big wide bit, which is a bit tricky. Bit behind for support, like that, and then chuck a load of that in there, and there. It's very saturated there. Try and make it more of a slope. Some of this dry stuff, just chuck in there. Maybe some of this stuff here. That'll make it much more supportive. Okay, I can go behind. Yeah, and here, yeah, a bit more of this stuff here. It's much drier and hold together better. Yeah. Right, squish that in, smooth it over, and take that top bit off. Put that there. Yeah, hopefully that bit should hold. Now, this bit here, whoa, you go, my foot's stuck again. Right, this bit could go here, and yeah, just chuck that all in, and chuck that in there like that. This one's a bit far forward and overhanging there, so I want to kind of move the whole thing in a bit like that, push that into place. So that could go there, this drier bit. And then I've got this bit here which is like sitting in water. So I think I'm going to use some of this stuff here. It's kind of half wet, and very, very squishy and pliable, but not kind of collapsing and running. So that can go all along there like that, roots out, and then that can just bash into place like that, and that should have a much better chance of holding together than these sloppy bits will have. But just hopefully they'll hold together and by some miracle will set. I'm going to try and rescue my little chair here which is blown over in the wind. See how deep I could go here. Right, put them up there. And there we are. Alright, that's better. The pond can fill up even more than this, but it's very difficult conditions today with the wind and everything. So I might just call it a day for today. It is getting quite late as well. but I've just got those little bits above water level, and it's supposed to be dry tomorrow, so I think that buys me a little bit of time. So I think that's probably enough for this episode. Yeah, tomorrow we have a day without rain, so that's good. We've got a little bit of a gap, a little bit of time to get things done, but this bit over here was built into water, and that's still standing, so that's good, because like slop and water don't really go too well together. It kind of makes it collapse. But I've done it in such a way here, particularly where I squished the turds together, and that seems to have held. You can see off into the submerged slop quarry over there, where the water's right at the top of that bit, but it goes back another level where it's cut down, so it can rise up that much more before it gets to the top of the surface area. So we could have yeah, about this high. So some of you may remember this ages ago when there was water here before, where the water was up to here. So this yeah, it's not as high as it can be, but I think I've got this high enough for now here. So it's all kind of like just about doable. And then when I get up past the next level, it'll be above the water height, then I can just build it all from the other side. So yeah, that's enough for today. So I hope you enjoyed today's video. If you did, please like and subscribe. If you press the little me, which is somewhere down there, and you can see all my other videos. If you have any questions, please ask, and I shall see you next time.